If it wasn't for the passing of my grandpa, I would never have considered spending 2 weeks to visit my grandma in the village, Xiangyang. My grandma is 85 and she lives alone. She is reluctant to stay at home and spends most of her time outside the house. As an energetic old lady, she walks a lot. She sometimes even makes fun of her younger neighbors for walking too slow. Like most of the northern Chinese, she loves noodles. She can eat noodles for 3 meals a day, and she eats a lot, even more than I do. She's afraid when she's home alone, especially at night. Not long after Grandpa died, she claimed she heard people talking outside her window in the middle of the night. These ghostly voices terrified her and led to long, sleepless nights. She gathered 3 peach tree branches and a knife to drive these ghosts away, according to superstition. She does this every night before bed. Grandma was raised in a very patriarchal society. She believes males are more valuable than females, and she raised her 2 sons with the expectation that they would take care of her in old age. To this day, she refuses to live with any of her 3 daughters. Before my grandpa's death, my eldest aunt tried to take both of them into her home in the village, but it only lasted a few days, as my grandma spent most of the time complaining. Eventually, she had a fight with my aunt and simply left the house alone. My aunt was hysterical, worried her mother had drowned herself in the river. In China, the eldest son is regarded as the father, especially when the father is gone. My eldest uncle had been taking care of both of my grandparents in the village until Grandpa's death. He believes that he has fulfilled his obligations and tried to pass the responsibility of taking care of Grandma to his younger brother. My younger uncle, along with my mom and my other aunt, moved 200 miles away to Wuhan when he was 18. Like so many, they left the village for work and then built their own families in the city. They tried to bring Grandma to the city after Grandpa passed away. After a short time though, Grandma asked to be sent back. Once, while taking a walk around the neighborhood, my grandma sat down on the curb and cried. Fallen leaves return to the roots. One should revert to one's origin when getting old. For now, my grandma lives alone in her village where she wants to be. When I was there, she asked me every day, "When will your mom come?" She would even count down the days with her fingers and smile like a kid. But then she would sigh and say, "She will leave anyway, and I'll be left alone again." Grandma was right. Last New Year's festival, my mom and aunt came to visit her for a few days. But a snowstorm approached, so they went back to Wuhan after only one day. Grandma raised the kids with her heart and soul for decades. She could not imagine she would be alone now. For this, there is grief. And for my mom and her siblings, who want to pay her back for the sacrifice, there is regret. And they share this regret with their generation and the generation after. I am glad that I spent the days with my grandma, and I wish I had that time with Grandpa too.